Hello class, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. In this episode we're going to explore the soldier key areas, and because it's an hour-long episode, and I haven't started filming them short again, but I guess we're going to explore a little bit into the next couple areas, because they're actually quite small. So first things first, let's head down here, and head into soldier key area just across this bridge, and to the right, which is basically only there for one item and a secret area for later. So yeah. This is one of those slightly more pointless ones, but it's still got a pretty nice item, at least for early on. Although personally I don't much like it. The Ring of Regeneration and 3 torches. The Ring of Regeneration is actually not as good as you'd think it is. It does what the life ring says it does in the previous game, but it breaks easily and it's very slow. So I mean, it's good if you don't want to waste. If it's good if you don't want to waste life gems, just kind of stand there. But you run the risk of getting invaded. You always do, whenever you stand around. Anyway, and up here, large open area, absolutely nothing. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's absolutely nothing except this big giant door, which you can't get until you get more than halfway through the game. So we'll be leaving that area untouched for quite a while. But once we do, it's actually required for progression, so I mean, like, it's one of those areas that you have to get to complete the game. Anyway, over here is the next soldier key door. This one actually leads to a full up area, so we'll go there last. Right up this way. No, I'll just go there now. Might as well. Could do them in order. The other way leads to another encounter with the pursuer boss, if you remember him from on top of that little platform. It's one of those areas where it might be smart to have a torch, but you don't really need it if you have your brightness up turned up enough. Oh, and in case you notice those little red things around my character, that's the Ring of Regeneration. It's letting you know that your health is in fact regenerating. Let's go ahead and use their crossbow on these ironclad knights here. Don't want to get too close to them. And poke. Yeah. Generally, you don't want to be too close when you use a ranged attack like a crossbow. It leaves you open for attack, and if they hit you and break your poise too soon, then you'll not pull off your attack. And even then, you'll still take damage. Like, even if you do pull off your attack, so generally you want to back up as far as you can. Or at least as far as good. It takes a while to get the right distance, but well, once you do, it's a lot easier to play a ranged character, like with crossbows, that sort of thing. So yeah. And this way. Another torch. We're getting a lot of torches stocking up, I guess you might say, in this early area. See, that was a bit too close from the speed he was moving at. As he gets too close, I'm basically in the ground. You can roll to increase your distance just really quickly. See? If I just been a second too slow, I would have been stopped. You gotta be careful with that, especially in games like this. Oh, with monsters like this, mostly. So yeah. This Sprungity doing warns of no danger, so let's continue. And really, these guys aren't that big of a threat. If you know what you're doing and have the right weapon. Let's equip our shield. I gotta take this. Hold on. And we're back! So, yeah, let's just walk across this bridge. Ow. I was poked. Ow. Sad face. Fortunately, this guy has to walk a very long way to get to us, so we can just kind of snipe him from here, whittle down his health a little bit. Of course, we are almost out of bolts now. And there's another one. As far as we can without going in melee. Ow. And that's it for a crossbow. Let's not de-equip it, it takes too long. Stay out of the range of his swings, generally, unless he just swung, which means generally he'll be open for a bit. No items for us. There. if you whittle down their health enough, you can generally smack at them good enough to kill them in melee. That's generally good enough. Just get them down low enough so you can kill them in one spurt. We do have arrows. That's good. No throwing items though. Let's see if we can use our bow. We need a ranged option available. Now here is an amber herb and a green blossom. Amber herbs for spell uses, green blossoms for stamina recharge, so they're a bit quicker. Useful in PvP if you need a quick buff or something, but I don't use them very much. Anyway, let's head up here and grab ourselves one of the lighter sets of armor, along with a large soul of a proud knight. This is the hunter/leather set. It's a bit lighter, of course has less defense because of it. Looks okay, but we'll stick with falconer. Leather gloves, whoa. Why are you so much better? See, some armors are just bad. Way too much, have too little defense. If you upgrade them, they can be good, but if you upgrade the better ones, generally, they're better. And now we are Robin Hood. So, yeah, swag. But this burgundy dawing, it warns us of our danger. Warns us of danger, so let's stick with that. Falconer gloves, yeah, nothing under there. Can't get under there anyway. And in here, then make a right, is the third bonfire. There's actually 4 in this area. The 4th one is past that big fat door. Yeah. Going right in here. Aha! A giant. So if someone should invade you, there will be a giant bulb on that guy. Someone should invade you, there's a chance of a bulb appearing on this tree. Should you go there when there's a bulb, you can pick it up if you get close enough to him. And it's the seed of the Tree of Giants, which makes enemies respond to invaders, which is quite fun, really. I've never used it, but it's one of the starting gifts, so that's where you get that in-game. Generally, you can get every starting item in-game, or at least a better version of it. There we go. Fire arrows. We're doing a little bit more damage, actually, which is kind of nice. Lucky we upgraded our dexterity enough to be able to use it. And then up here, there's a few more basic hollow soldiers. Nothing to worry about, really. Life gem. No, those are hollow infantry, not hollow soldiers. What am I thinking? Blah. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. A bastard sword. That's the good kind. A standard greatsword. Ooh. Can't use it until we get 20 strength, but that's going to be our first heavy weapon, I think. It's a sword, so it's decently fast, has a nice moveset that's applicable in many situations. But it's heavier, so it fits our build a little better. Yep. He fell. Let's see if we can get a drop on him. Ah, I actually hit a plunging attack. What madness is this? Oh, it got us a kill at least. Might have taken a little bit of damage from the fall, but still, I actually hit a plunging attack. Really need to work on my dodging. Generally, just to the side is good enough. Try not to go too far away from an enemy when he swings like that, because generally, heavy enemies like this, when they swing, they have a big, heavy, strong attack, so when they hit it, they pause for a second, which allows you to get a hit on them. So you want to dodge it, but stay close. If you try to block it, you'll get staggered a little bit, like you'll be knocked back by the force of said blow, so you won't be able to get a hit. I believe that's it for this area, so we'll move on to the Pursuer boss fight area. I believe soon. Let's just head back to a bonfire that's decently close to it. That needs 20 strength as well. Looks like we're gonna get some upgrades. Pursuer boss fight's one of the harder ones, so we're going to want some better equipment. And to get said better equipment, we need souls. And to get souls, we consume soul items. And also kill enemies, but mostly consume soul items. That should do it. I'll keep that soul of the last giant for the weapon it gives you. It'll be fun to use. Check its moveset at least. It's going to take a lot of upgrades to get up to 20, but it's going to be worth it. Definitely worth it. Any other weapons we can just now use? Maybe like a axe or something. See this black flamestone dagger? That's not a dagger. That's a full-up sword. It's got the Heide Knight sword moveset actually, which is kind of interesting. It's a basic sword moveset for everything, really. Ah, the bound hand axe. Not as effective when slashing, but it does cause bleed damage. Probably not going to use it though. Heavier than a standard mace, more effective striking. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah. That's a clobberin' moveset if I've ever seen one. Yes, we will stick with this. I like it. Let's head to Cardinal Tower and see what we can do about the Pursuer boss fight then. Simple enough. It takes a bit of running though, unless you have the shortcut, in which case it's a lot shorter, and you can generally run past the enemies if you don't want to fight them. But with the strength build, you can't run that quickly. A lot of arrows. De-equip that so we can get a little bit more roll speed. Smack. Smack. Yes. New weapon. Homunculus mace makes explosions. Because when we hit him, there was an explosion. Yeah, it was the firebomb thrower, but I wanted to believe. Anyway, down this way and make a left. Not that way. Let's just run past this guy. I don't want to bother fighting him right now. Open up this soldier key door. Yep, B came. Alright. Guess it was too much to hope that the firebomb throwers and the black powder barrels would kill him. I can three-shot them with this homunculus mace. I like it. My new favorite weapon. Yeah. Would be much better at guard breaking if I actually used a guard break. Yeah. Area of effect. That's for when you get surrounded, and it's good. Swings like that. Alright, let's see if we can do guard break. Missed the critical, but oh well. If I haven't told you already, you get a critical attack when you guard break someone, like with a kick, tap forward and light attack at the same time. Guard break them, then you walk up really close and hit the attack button again, and you get a critical. It's not as effective a critical as you'd hope. But let's go back human. Consume a bigger life gem to heal ourselves back up. And use the summon sign, hopefully. Nope. Let's grab this item at least. Demonstrate how summoning works, hopefully, if I can find one. I'm going to talk about it for a bit. Summon a phantom. It acts as another player in your world, but it buffs all the enemies slightly by giving them a bit more damage resistance. It works a lot more it's generally not a good idea to summon a phantom for, actually it's generally almost always a good idea to summon a phantom if you can get one. Unless it's like a boss fight that you can take easily by yourself. Because if you summon a phantom, the boss will gain more health. Basically. So your attacks will be more effective if you don't summon a phantom, but if you do summon a phantom, someone else will be able to take his attention. This is especially good for ranged builds, so you can have a tank to focus his attention while you do damage. Of course, you'll be doing less damage because there's a tank out, and the boss will have more damage resistance, but still. This guy is a fairly easy boss fight if you know his attack patterns and how to dodge them, though, so we'll just stick by ourselves. Dodge to the right for that attack every time, and you get a hit off. Yeah, frame rate. Frame rate, why? It's fine when I'm not filming. He has guard breaks too. Fortunately, our stamina regen's quick enough that we can avoid him. Sorry if the frame rate's killing you guys. It's normally not this bad. It's just when I'm filming and then I pump it through on my editing, all that stuff, it just crashes it. Heal up. Get hit while healing, but since the healing was already in place, we still recover that health. Generally though, with a boss like this who can dart across the battlefield in a single bound, it's not a good idea to heal yourself. Or at least, unless you know he won't be able to attack you for another couple seconds. Like if he just used a big one and he's like slumped or something, or like recovering from an attack. Because if you heal, he'll damage you. And then, well, you'll get the health back technically if you time it right, but you probably generally won't gain more than you lost. It's generally not worth an Estus for that. You have to gauge it for yourself. Just circle around him pretty much. Watch his attacks. See? I got hit and healed in process. Play it defensive. Pop a heal while he's recovering from his dash attack. Let's just stick to one attack this time so we can more effectively dodge his. We'll be doing less damage per round, but we won't be taking much. Broke his poise. I didn't even know that was possible. No, I guess every enemy in the game has a poise. It just takes a lot to break some of the boss's ones. In this case, it was most of his health. Almost got him. Number one rule in boss fights, don't get greedy. If you mess it up right when you're about to win, it's one of the worst feelings in the world, I'd say. Just follow your attack patterns, don't go for an extra attack unless you know you can kill him. See, that was me getting greedy, and then I accidentally baited one of his bigger attacks. That was one instance where you can get greedy. You know you know you can kill him with one more attack, and you just smack him, and it just kills him, so it breaks his. Simple enough. Now we got the Ring of Blades, which increases our physical attack. So we'll be doing more damage now. We also got the Soul of the Pursuer, which allows us to make his Ultra Greatsword, but since we already have the Soul of the Last Giant for a super weapon, we'll stick with that. Up here is a pathway to a later game area that we're not that is more we'll get there later after the next section of the video. That's basically just a extra side area and set that in that area. Blech. Drang leg set minus the helmet. Comes with a great sword, but we need 20 dex and 25 strength to use it, so we won't be using it anytime soon. The armor's pretty good, but you can't upgrade it like with normal Titanite, so we need the twinkles. The shield's really good, though. So we're going to go ahead and use that. Yeah. We're definitely going to get to that later area. It's called the Lost Bastille. We'll get there later. I can guarantee that. We might actually use that one and just port back, just to have that bonfire available. Now, as you can see, we're all decked out. We have a cape, and we are not able to roll. Eh. Oh, did I miss an item up there? Oh, I'm gonna have to go all the way back just to check. Tankity, tankity, tank, tank, tank. Not taking any damage from these guys' attacks. It's great. Fellow soldier shield. Absolutely useless. Yay! Fortunately, we already killed all the enemies, so it's a quick jog. And up this way. Yeah. This is when dash is useful. Let's go and use a life gem. Might as well. We have a lot of them, and we need to restore a little bit of health just so we don't die when we fall, you know. That fallen giant over there, you may have noticed when I clicked on it and said, alas, nothing happened. That's basically the end of the game. That's an area you can only access, like, right as you're about to finish. And I did not miss an item. So, okay. Yeah, we'll work with those, fallen giants later. Way later, like, episode, 30 or something. Anyway, let's head back up here and use that nest so we can get a quick bonfire to port back to Majula or something, because we have a lot of souls from the Pursuer. Want to use them on getting our strength up, you know? Maybe our vitality a little bit too, because this armor is heavy. Vitality is the equip load stat, in case you didn't know that. Anyway, remember the nest from the first game that took you back to the Undead Asylum? That's basically like that, because you don't have to curl into a ball and wait there for 5 minutes. Ah, the Twin Blade. I remember that weapon. We'll be getting it soon. Like, 2 episodes maybe. Welcome to a later game area. The Lost Bastille. We are not... Well, we could, but we're not quite properly equipped yet, and we haven't finished all the areas up to it. And we don't want to risk losing all our souls, so... Yeah. Emerald Herald, looking out to the ocean. Bear seek Clest. It's basically the only dialogue you hear from her. Now we have enough to use a halberd, so let's upgrade our vitality a couple times. Endurance maybe once, twice. That should be good. Now we're still definitely not fast rolling, but we can use the Twin Dragon Great Shield, which is heavy, and also the halberd. Oh, is this a fun weapon? Smack, poke, smack, smack. It's an axe spear, which means you can attack from it with it behind a shield. Quite fun, but the main attraction is this bastard sword right here. Basic swing, a bit slow but very damaging, and a slam attack, and also a twirl after said slam. It's really nice if you're facing a big group of enemies. You can slam them down and then do a bit of a twirl.
Oh, I was hoping that you would come. I've stocked some new things, and I thought that you might be interested. They've been selling rather well, and I may step up operations soon. I'm surprising even myself, to be honest.
He's upgraded his stock. He has a few more things to sell, like the Royal Soldier set and the Elite Knight set. Elite Knight's one of the most well acclaimed in the game. It was the Dark Souls 1 cover armor, like the Faram set in this game, which is what you guys saw in the trailers,
Always open.
or if you watched them. Let's see, let's go ahead and consume that, and then do a bit of research. No, let's just go ahead and buy the helmet. Looks cool. I mean, Sprightly Dung's nice and all, but sometimes you gotta think about the stats, and those stats are terrible. Yeah, it looks nice, but... I'm gonna try to go a bit lighter. Oh, those stats are way better. Sprightly Dung it is. Kinda fits, too, I like it. Let's go this way now. Might as well hold on to the Pursuer's Soul for now. We can get an Ultra Greatsword later, which is basically the biggest weapon in the game. We can't move that until we get an NPC at the end of this next area. Welcome to the winding corridors of the path to Heide's Tower. Of flame. Yeah. Be on the lookout, you never know where an item's hiding. Like right here. An iron chest. They don't respawn when you use bonfire acidics. Talk about that later if we actually do. But generally they hold really nice items. This Crimson Parma is one of the first shields you can get. Right when you get to Majula, you can just run down here and grab it. But it's not a very good shield overall. Pull that lever and open this gate. And run under it. Up there is the lever to go back. Should you want to. Broken Thief Sword, which is a slightly better version of the Broken Straight Sword, and also a soul item, so those are always good. And run up here. Wow, that's quite the place. Definitely broken down, but well, it still looks nice. Again, there's giant enemies. Fun times. Let's give him a smack on its whirl. Smack. And dead. Fortunately, I have heavy armor, and these guys attack slow, so I'm still able to roll, and I don't take any damage when they do hit me. Ah, a summon sign. Okay. Okay, looked weird. Let's light this bonfire. Bit hidden, but it's there. Nice way to skip that whole first part if you want to travel, and it's pretty nice just to have a bonfire available. This guy, one of the hardest non-boss enemies in this zone. Giant hammer. Swings quickly. Puts the beat down on your shields. Luckily we have a great shield by now. If we didn't, we'd be dying. Yeah. Recharge stamina between swings. Twirl. He does drop. He's an non-responding enemy that drops Sublime Bone Dust, which you can use to upgrade your Estus Flask. Not in the way of giving it more charges, but in the way of making it restore more health with each charge. Speaking of Estus Flask, let's go ahead and drink one. Right up here is this guy. Looks like he's going to be blocking. It's no fun. Now this game actually does penalize you for running past all the enemies in this area because they're big and scary and you can access it right from Majula. So it's like, you know what, you should come here later when you're more prepared so you can actually like fight them properly. So you can access the better version of the boss fight, basically. See that platform down there? That's what the boss is. On the right, the one on the right. No, it's straight ahead. Pretty much, a little bit to the left. Pulling these levers, which only activate when you kill the enemies, raises more platforms around the boss fight, which means you will not fall off less. You will not fall off. It's a nice little adjustment, I guess. Quite nice in that, well, this guy is a giant halberd-wielding super knight, so it can be kind of hard to avoid getting knocked off, especially if you're using a shield. And since you're dodging his large halberd swings, then if you're a dexterity type character, you'll be rolling off the cliff more often than not. And also the two knights that backed off to guard the little places. They're going to be coming in soon, don't worry. Let's kill this guy. And then we have two knights on us, or at least we should. Yes, we do. Let's see if we can fight two at once. We probably can't, but we'll at least try because we don't have a ranged option with us. At the moment. Wait for an opening, that's the trick. Ah, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I got greedy. Attacked one too many times and they got the attack on me. Don't do that. Don't. Just don't. Well, then we gotta fight through all those enemies again. But first, let's consume the soul pursuer and get us some more ranged bullets, because we need those for those 2 knights. Right. That's past me remembering that I don't have swords on me. Oh, and also the sublime bone dust. I need to remember to burn that in the Majula bonfire. That's how that works. You don't turn it into the Emerald Herald, you instead burn it in the Farfire Majula. Well, we don't need that many, so let's not waste the soul of the pursuer right now. Let's go ahead and buy the bolts. Crossbows generally do a bit more damage, and they're slightly more effective when you use them with a character who's not high dex. There we go. And that's past me forgetting to equip the bolts. Let's see how long it takes past me to remember. This is a fun game, I like it. And past me decides to head back to Majula for some reason. I don't pretend to know what past me was thinking. It's been a while since I actually filmed this. Right, the sublime bone dust. Even I forgot about that. Past me has better memory than I do. See, whoosh. Some force has strengthened the Ostus flask. Now we have a +1 Estus flask. Yay! Ah. Heals a bit more, which is always good. Smack. Twirl. Dodge. Got hit. Save enough stamina to dodge all of his consecutive sword attacks. It's the trick, you gotta remember to save enough stamina. Let's go to a lighter build. Just can't quite dodge these guys without being able to roll, you know? Huh. Maybe... I'll figure it out. If I re-equip some falconer armor or something. There we go, that'll work. I do like this cape. So let's go ahead and stick with it. Yep, leather boots and dragon leg mail. This is gonna be fun. Damage reduction. Complete damage reduction with rolling. Always wait for an opening. Save your stamina for rolling. I don't think past me gets it. As you can see, we restore slightly more health, with every quickie sippy, as it's called in some places. Grab our souls and move around this guy. That sweep attack gets me every time. Alright, let's pick up this item. Old Knight Helm. Oh, that's heavy armor for sure. That's past me realizing I forgot to equip the bolts. And we're good, okay. Even behind shields, these bolts do... No, this guy's not shielding, never mind. If you go far enough, these guys actually start to move back. So, we can kind of hound them like that. Now I can use my melee on this guy. Yeah, that should work a little better. Why did I not save enough stamina for rolling? Past me. Stop being stupid. Stop. Gotta save enough stamina for rolling, or at least blocking, so you don't die. It's that simple. Sit down there. But first things first, the second lever, which activates the full boss fight area, meaning it is literally impossible to fall off the boss fight area now. But first, there's a pretty nice item up here I think we need to get. Well, there's 2 old knights, so let's focus on this guy with ranged so that we don't get in a pickle with 2 of them again. Just melee this one last hit. There we go. That'll do it. Oh, there's another one. There we go. See, past me starting to learn. Save stamina. It doesn't matter if the fight takes longer, if you just survive it. Yeah. Ooh, a pale stone. That's kind of useful. It's useful for when you infuse your weapon with an element using one of the other kinds of stones. If you use a pale stone on it afterwards, it spell requires a certain NPC that we don't have unlocked yet. If you use the pale stone on said infused stone, then you'll remove that enhancement. So like if you put magic on it or something and you decide, oh, I want to be a cleric instead, then that's divine or lightning based, then you can just take it off and yeah. Stuff like that. Roll, or yeah, block. I did take off a bunch of armor so I could roll, but rolling is only when you can't block, you know? Can't really attack when these guys are in their attack animation, so... Play defensive. Especially when you're playing a strength character like this. Now you might be wondering, how do we get the drawbridge down? Why, with the final lever, of course, if I can find it. There we go. Pull it. And down comes the drawbridge. Donk. And up this way is a boss fight. There's actually 2 boss fights in this area. I think we'll get to this one. But we'll stick with the easier one for now. Open up this. The Ring of Binding and 5 human effigies. Quite a nice chest. The Ring of Binding is really only useful if you're like really hollow. But when you are, it's great, because what it does is it halves your hollowing health loss. It's like if you were at half health, it puts you at a quarter. No, 3/4. Blah. It's a really nice ring in my opinion, but only sometimes. So, yeah. Back in Heide's tower. Let's head over this way. I think there's only one more old knight left until we get to the boss. There really aren't that many of them, but it's a pretty nice run for grinding up souls if you don't mind constant danger, you know? There. Slam, slam. And that curve attack gets me every time. Save stamina for blocking. Again. Need to learn to circle to the left with this guy. Anyway, you notice that chest over there, so let's go ahead and grab it. Open up. 3 green blossoms, useful for restoring our stamina. There. So it's really easy to fall off there. Now here I can finally show you what phantoms do. And especially the NPC phantoms. Non-player character. So let's go with our black fire bombs. Masterless Glencore using a giant sword and the smallest shield. This guy is an NPC. You can generally tell because they have a name that's like this guy something, like Masterless Glencore or Steel Wheeled Lori or something. They generally don't do much damage, but they have a lot of health. And their attack patterns mean they almost always stay close to him unless they're like a sorcerer or something. So this guy is going to be our tank. He takes a lot of damage, like a lot of damage, way more than any sane player would. But he deals a lot, but he deals way too little. So we're going to have to focus on dealing the damage ourselves. And he does about half ours with that giant sword. Of course, we are using a heavy attack and he's using a light attack, but that's really no excuse. And we're breaking this guy's poise. Woo! Of course, I got hit because, well, I wasn't saving enough stamina because we were all beating on him like, yay. Fortunately, Glencore can still do damage, even though it's not quite as much as you'd hope. Just be careful. Don't want to die on this guy. Ow. And dead. Pretty simple. Kill ourselves a boss. That's 2 in one episode. Maybe even 3 if we get to it. The Dragon Rider Soul, which we can use to get a Dragon Rider bow, which is a completely strength-oriented basic bow. It takes a long time to draw back, but it does a lot more damage. And that's exactly what this character needs. Let's light this bonfire and then go talk to this NPC over here, the Cleric.
Are you from these parts? My name is Lycia. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power.
I have a
But the
faith
cost
stat
of
of more
it?
than 5.
That's for your heart to decide. I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true. The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles. Why did I come here? Well... do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles? My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world, and such is my only wish. Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home. It is... well, I must do this. And being out here all alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings-on, I'll have to move soon, to a place I could help the gullible, by teaching the good word.
Something's not right.
I expected this
Well, at least she operates that contraption that does not move, so that's good. And she sells all of the miracles.
No need. The gods.
Yeah, you're not the gods. Anyway. Let's, stick with bows and arrows for the time being. Don't have enough souls to invest in anything else, really. Yeah. Let's see what we can buy at the armory, I guess. We can get a bit more of the elite knight set.
Always up.
Just comparing the stats a little bit. I think it's actually a bit heavier. Oh well. Real soldier armor is definitely lighter. Let's grab one of those. I do like the armored look of those.
Thanks, very.
That should do it. Plus, I do kind of like the look of the Royal Soldier armor. It's got like shoulder pads and everything. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, now the trick with Moglin the armor is that he has different phases depending on how much you've bought. he starts off like, thank you for coming to my shop, and then eventually you spend enough souls, and he's like, hey, I can actually buy things, I can actually afford merchandise to sell people now, so I'm gonna like start getting more stock, and yeah, and then eventually he just like becomes this businessman, you know, just like sitting there like all pompous and proud. He's just like, I am the master of everything, and you are my only customer. Rah, rah. Never says that, but it's true. He does sell some really good armors later, though, especially the boss armors, I believe. Stuff like, say, the Dragon Rider set.
Hello there. An honor to see you again. This room is not as it seems. There are two, not one pathways leading out. And only this lovely thing reveals the other path. And this, you lovely thing, only runs on miracles. Shall I provide you with one?
Gah. No cleric would charge for that. Well,
Go ahead. To cast miracles began as tales told by gods. We preserve their will with law. Pray to their greatness. You must nourish your... May the power offer your souls.
well, let's explore down this way, I guess. Get ourselves a jumping off point for a later episode, at least. This is an even later game area, but no, we'll get to it after the Lost Bastille, I think. Yeah. Long and boring. Well, this is a chair facing the wall with a dude in it.
But leave me be. The frailty of the weak disrupts the dark. Leave me, and I'm interested in one thing, dark, and you have nothing. Leave me, I'm interested in
We
one
need more
thing.
intelligence than faith to be able to cast proper hexes, which is what this guy's wanting. Oh well. We've now unlocked Huntsman's Copse, I guess. Let's go ahead and spend our last of our souls, I guess. Maybe upgrade our vitality a little bit so we can actually equip proper armor. We can buy a few things. See if Moglin's gone to his next phase yet. That's what I'm trying to get. See, he sells some really nice armor later.
I'm glad.
No, he has not. I do like this chest plate. Just the look of it in general. It's really nice. Yeah.
Thanks very...
Look at that. Look at that. That's awesome. Of course, we can't roll with it. Still can't roll with it. Maybe we don't need the ranged option for now. Yeah. Still with being a bit light-footed. We can work on being ranged a bit later. Let's see if we've got his next phase going. Generally, resting at a bonfire sets all that stuff up. So yeah, let's get moving. Yeah. No, he was not. We can buy something at the cat. Don't really want to spend more souls on Moglin right now. Or just level up. We do have a couple of boss souls we don't need. Let's work on our vitality. I want to equip all those cool armors. Let's see, what can we equip now? Those. That's something, I guess. Yeah, I think that's about good. The Great Sword. It's actually an ultra great sword, so it was lying to you. Alright, luckily we're still human, so maybe we can summon a phantom and get him to take us to the Cathedral of Blue boss fight. Which is someone you may recognize if you've played the first game. There we go, 3-shot. Oh? That's a small sign. They don't last as long, so generally I try not to summon them if there's a big sign available. You can have 2 phantoms at a time, though. I'll look for another summon sign up more up this way. That guy put his sign there probably because he was wanting to fight the Dragon Rider. And we're going to be taking him somewhere else if we do. Summon him, that is. Don't really like overburning myself, but, well, it's for a good cause. Go, Glencore! Go, Glencore. He's our man. If he can't do it, I guess I could. Look at how much health that guy has. It's ridiculous. Of course, he doesn't usually heal himself, which is why he needs like a spell like heal or something, which has a slight area around it now. No, he does actually have Estus. So he can heal himself, but only when he's at certain levels of being dead. There's not many feelings better than ganging up on enemies with a phantom. They just smack away at them and then they die. Can't use this until we get 24 strength, though. Well, it's all circly, though. Oh well. And down. I'm just gonna focus on this guy. And up this way again. Just one more old night between us and a boss fight. Hopefully we can find another phantom, but there are no guarantees. You got one, you might as well have 2, right? Just pick someone that'll die too quick. You want to stick around the whole boss fight. Back up the drawbridge. Aha! Here we go. Someone's trying to play the Witcher, except he's totally not because he has a halberd. Oh well. Maybe this guy? Yeah, he looks like... no. I don't really have an emote for being... disappointed, I guess. No, like, facepalm or something. Ah well, let's go with Glencore. We can do it together. And besides, this guy will have less health this way. Recognize him, anyone? This is Ornstein, the old Dragon Slayer. One of the most hated boss fights in the original game because he was accompanied by Smough, the giant tank with a hammer. And this guy took the role of the DPS, rushing in there and killing you while Smough was distracting you with his giant man boobers. I apologize when he was offended by that. And, well, luckily, Ornstein here does not have Smough to help him out this time. And his powers are a bit different. Instead of using lightning like he used to, as you may notice, his armor is more black than it used to be. He's using dark damage, which is not something you want to go face to face with generally. It does a lot of damage, but it almost always takes something from the caster. In this case, I guess it took Smough. there's a lot of hexes that require you to spend a few souls to cast them every time, and every hex requires you to invest in both faith and intelligence, which is not something every character wants to do, that's for sure. Being a hexer requires a lot of dedication. Alright, that's another boss fight. We get ourselves a whole lot of souls. The old Leo ring, which increases counter damage with pierce weapons. It's very situational. And the old Dragon Slayer soul, which allows us to make the lightning spear thing, which is awesome. Mimicry ahead. It's lying. Liar. 3 cracked blue eye orbs. And this chest contains one of my favorite items in the whole game. The Heide Knight Iron Mask, and also the Tower Shield. This is a shield that takes 30 strength to use, but it's one of the better ones. Very heavy, requiring great strength. We're gonna use that. We're so gonna use that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this mask at least. It looks really cool. It's heavy, but it looks awesome. And it goes with every armor. I'm like, not even kidding. Every armor in the game, that thing goes with it. It's great.
Transient being. This is no place for one such as you. Be gone. You are not needed. Transient
That's awfully
you
rude.
would never make a Knight of the Blue, and I have nothing more to say. Be gone.
This guy is the Covenant leader for the Knights of the Blue Covenant, which protect Wave of the Blue members. They're the guys who counter-invade. It's a nice covenant to belong to. A lot of people switch to this after they get here. Because, well, you have to have beat Ornstein to get here, you know? That generally means you're tough enough. To defend lower level players, at least. Yeah. Of course, we do need a token of fidelity to join. Which means we either have to be a White Phantom and co-op, or we have to find one lying around. So being a White Phantom and co-oping with the big White Sign Soapstone, just place it down, wait for someone to summon you, and when they do, you have to beat the boss with them. Once you do that, you get a token of fidelity, and you are eligible to join the Covenant. If not, you can just find one.
I'm glad.
Yeah, let's grab the gloves. What else can we buy? I do like the Royal Soldier leggings. They're all black and stuff, and it's cool. Let's buy the helm, too. That should trigger his next phase. Not gonna spend our souls on leveling up until we've gotten all the right armors, you know? And he sells a pretty nice, somewhat light one.
There seems...
Might as well level up at least. We can use some higher level armors, and that's always good. Let's save 3,000 for the wares Moglin is bound to have by now. Let's see. De-equip that. Huh. We're wearing the Elite Knight set now, except we actually can't because it's too heavy. For leather gloves. We can equip something. I'll figure it out. I should do. Let's go and rest and then go talk to Moglin again. Here's a nice trick I do sometimes just to make sure I'm not just doing it wrong. Travel to Majula from Majula. Yes, you can do that. I just did. Puts you through a loading screen, which generally progresses every NPC if you're eligible. Like, if you spent enough souls at Moglin, it should progress him to his next state. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yes.
Sorry, have we met? Oh, sorry. It's just I've been awfully busy lately.
With who?
Care to look over my wares? Please, be my guest.
Who else is
I
buying
upgraded
armor
my
from
stock
you?
recently, although it may be a bit out of your reach.
He now sells the Alva set, which is light but effective is what it calls. That's what it calls itself. It's not actually that great, and it upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, which is very hard to find. Let's go and consume the old Dragon Slayer soul. We're going to keep that Dragon Rider soul for the bow. Went ahead and looked them up just to be sure. Yeah. That's good. I think we're gonna keep that. Definitely, yeah. Solar Pursuer, though, we don't really need it. One big fat weapon per character is generally good enough. Let's buy ourselves part of the Alpha set, I guess. The helm looks weird, though. I don't like it. Still afford it. Might as well, considering we're going to be jumping off a cliff soon.
Thanks for the purchase.
And yes, you heard me right, we're going to be jumping off a cliff soon. What I meant by that is that Moglin now has a interesting little tidbit if you talk to him and you have literally 0 souls. And we're going to get it. We're going to get his items that he gives us when we have 0 souls. And it's going to be good. It looks a little weird, but... Nah. I'm gonna wear this monocle. No. Can't quite wear it. Just above 70. Annoys me so. Let's wear this hunter's hat. No. I don't like the way it looks. This way we get a little bit more roll distance anyway. So, just for kicks, because we're gonna be jumping down there anyway, just to get our 0 souls. Let's see if we can actually survive. Wow. Okay. Let's pick up some items while we're down here, I guess. Hey, and maybe if we're lucky, I can get us to the next area. A Pharaoh's Lockstone. And nothing else. Oh well. I wasn't planning to go down there for quite a while anyway. Guess this saved me the trouble. Well, there wasn't really much trouble just to keep going down, but there are some pretty tricky jumps. Anyway, we now have absolutely no souls. Let's go talk to Moglin. The armor he gives us is actually quite good, I think. At least in my opinion.
You need in a spot of bother, are we? Here, take this. My compliments.
The Aura set.
I'm rich! I'm rich! I don't need to go home anymore. Home. Home? Where is home? Are you sure?
Well, the Aura set, it's pretty nice. Nice armor, nice equipment load. It increases your equip load a bit, which makes it even lighter. And it still gives fairly nice defense. Of course, there is one slight problem. It's invisible. Or at least, well, you can see it a little bit, but it's mostly invisible. So it's nice armor. You can actually get the visible set later, like way later in the game, like New Game Plus. But it only drops. But you can only get it one playthrough at a time. It's not quite my definition of fun. It looks really cool though. Let's might as well. I've got 2 minutes left. How? Let's try and not be stupid this time. Alright, where to now? There we go. I probably can't make that. Well, it's fun to try. Nope. Alright, that should do it. So we now have invisible armor, light but high defense armor, in giant quotations. And we're one step closer to finishing the game, I guess, once now that we finished Heide's Tower of Flame and the Cathedral of Blue. So, I'll go ahead and position us properly for the next episode. We'll be continuing on after Heide's Tower of Flame. Down, down, down. Down into No Man's Wharf. A wretched hive of scum and villainy, as one famous fictional character may have said once. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Farewell, and don't get killed by the bandits. Class dismissed.